Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's been a while since I posted, but I am Pixie Sticks, otherwise known as Kate and Diamond Painting and Dr. Pepper. And today I am coming at you with a whip and chat. It's been a while. I've just been super busy and also a little bit mentally overwhelmed. So that's why it has taken so long to make a video. But what I'm working on today is actually Artist's Room by Mrs. Butter D, or Mrs. Buttered. I don't know how she pronounces it actually. I started this kit when I was visiting Katie down in California, and I'm finally getting around to finishing it because recently, just a few days ago, I finally finished Mountain Castle, which I have been working on since actually July of last year. I had some other projects in between, and I also still have Midnight Spell that I'm working on, but I wanted to go ahead and knock this out first because I got so much of it done when I was visiting Katie, and there isn't that much left to do, and that could just leave me with the one whip of Midnight Spell to get done before, hopefully before May. That's my goal anyway. So I'm actually working out of baggies for this kit. So I'm sorry if you hear any noise of the baggies. I am using a Munimate tray and a pen from Butterfly Effectwares that I love. It's retro pastel. I love it so much. Anyway, so yeah, it's been a long time since we chatted, so it's actually 3:38 a.m. right now on Friday, well, I guess Saturday morning, and I was feeling pretty under the weather today. I still worked, but I definitely wasn't at my best or fastest self. And I went to bed early, only to be awoken in the middle of the night by, a cat wanting to leave our room. And then I couldn't go back to sleep. So I figured I might as well stop tossing and turning and come into my office and do something with the time. So I played The Sims for a while because I've been back into playing The Sims 4 lately. And it's been really nice with the new expansion pack that they put out called Growing Together. And it's all about, like, they added in a new infant life stage, and that's the kind of gameplay I love. So I've been having a lot of fun with that expansion pack. But I actually felt good enough to diamond paint, and I was like, it's really quiet because everybody in the house but me is asleep. I might as well just do a whip and chat while I have the time and somewhat motivation. I don't know how long it'll last because it is 3:38 in the morning. Well, not now. Now it's 3:40. But yeah, so I'll get done what I can and hopefully have something to post for this week, which will be nice. I feel bad when I don't post, but I try to tell myself not to feel bad because I didn't start this channel to be super consistent with it because I knew I wouldn't be able to do that. At least in the past, I haven't been able to be consistent very well with either my art channel or this channel because there's just so much going on. On that note, something that's been going on in my house lately is that we have been repainting the downstairs in preparation for putting in some new floors, which we desperately need. We've had it's kind of like cheap carpet, and it was what was put in here when they built the house. And our house was actually the model home in a new development, so it had a little bit more wear and tear on the front end than probably some of the other new builds around here. And part of that was definitely the carpet. And then, you know, we have pets, so that doesn't help either. So our carpet is pretty trashed. And we have finally decided to bite the bullet and replace it with some, it's actually, I think it's called something vinyl plank manufactured. I don't know. It's like a high quality vinyl that looks like hardwood, and it's water resistant or waterproof. And I'm really excited. It's gonna replace all of the carpet in like our living room and our hallway and the front bathroom and laundry room down here, and our kitchen. But before we put that in, we wanted to do the painting first so that we didn't have to worry about getting any on the carpet, or yeah, well, we didn't have to worry about the carpet while we were painting because we're replacing it, but we didn't have to worry about getting any on the new floor. And part of the reason, so when we moved into this house, which it's been almost 10 years since we moved here, and they literally painted the whole house just tan, ceiling included, every room, every wall, the whole ceiling is all tan. And 10 years of that has been a little bit trying because it's so dull, and it kind of looks dingy just because of the color that they picked. And so part of the reason we've had trouble motivating ourselves to repaint is because the ceiling is tan. So before we could paint the walls any color, we'd have to paint the ceiling white. And the way our living room is, especially, makes that difficult because we have like a living room that moves from 1 story to 2 stories. It goes up at an angle towards the 2nd story, and it's really tall, and that makes it really hard to get to for painting. So we've just kind of put that off. But now we've said, okay, well, now's the time, we have to do this. So we started with the ceiling, and then we chose a really nice, it's actually like a light gray for the wall color, and it looks so clean and just much more updated. And then we even got to choose like an accent color for some parts of the, like we have like an inset of wall over our fireplace in the living room, and we chose a kind of a gray blue color as our accent color that's going in a couple of places. So it looks really nice, and we're not quite done yet, but we're almost there. And then our flooring is going to go in the next few weeks. And I am very excited for that, but also very nervous just because I feel like it's going to be really hectic trying to move stuff out of the way so that they can put the new flooring in, but have a place to put it. Like our couch, which is quite large, I don't know where it's going to move to while they put the flooring in there. Our table, I've never had anything like this done before where we've switched out our whole flooring. They're going to have to like remove the toilet in the front bathroom and the sink and all that stuff. So yeah, it's a big job, and it's definitely been, the painting part has been keeping us pretty busy, And that's another reason I haven't been able to do much of my video filming or anything like that. Just everything going on has been keeping me hopping. Yeah. Today, well, actually, technically yesterday, the 24th, was my eldest daughter's birthday. And I can't believe it. She's 21 now. And it's a special year because I had her when I was 21. And also in about a week, my son Fletcher's birthday happens. And he's going to be 19. And I was 19 when I married their dad. So it's just kind of it's kind of an interesting year for those birthdays and like the kind of milestones that they represent in my life. And then seeing them like reach that age and how differently their lives are going. It's really cool. On Sunday, we plan to drive down to where my eldest lives and visit her for her birthday. So I'm really excited to do that. I don't know exactly what we're going to do, but part of it is going to involve a lot of board games, because she and her boyfriend collect board games, and so we plan to play those while we're there. I assume this video is going to go up Sunday, but it just is going to depend on how much time I have tomorrow to edit it, I guess. Luckily, these videos aren't as edit heavy as what I feel like I have to make on my art channel, so it shouldn't take me long to edit it. I try not to edit these videos too much. I typically only edit when I have big long pauses when I'm trying to figure out what to say next, which probably happens more than it reasonably should. But when I'm just kind of talking to myself, talking to the phone camera, it takes me a while to pin down my thoughts and remember everything I wanted to chat about. I also seem to have the hiccups right now, so I'll probably try to edit a little bit of that out. But yeah, I'm trying to figure out, let's see, I'm working from baggies, I think I mentioned, and it's interesting because it's harder to find a specific color. My typical workflow when I'm diamond painting is like I'll look at my section and I'll find the symbol that stands out to me the most, and then I'll grab that color and work on it, and then I'll work on the next symbol that stands out to me the most. But I can't really do that when I'm working with baggies because they're all kind of together like this, and it would take a long time to kind of find the symbol I was looking for. So instead I pull a baggie out and then I look at the canvas and see if there are any of that symbol on there in the section I'm working on, and if not, then I'll set it to the side, and then eventually all of the baggies will be set to the side and I'll know I've gotten through all the colors. So that is how I've been working on this kit, and I'm on the second to the last section, so very close to being done, and I'm so excited. I really love this kit. As soon as I saw it come through, I knew that I needed to do it right away just because I'm so in love with it. And I'm also really hoping to get the witch's bedroom, the other piece by Mrs. Buttard that has been released so far. It came out in the one of the mystery boxes, and though I did buy that mystery box, I was part of the second round that didn't receive that particular kit. So I am hoping that it comes back in stock on the website soon so that I can buy it and complete it, because I absolutely love that one too. Mrs. Buttard is one of my favorite artists, and I don't know how many people have recommended her to licensing, but I was definitely one of them because I was very interested in doing diamond paintings of her artwork. So yeah, I am a fan. Ooh, speaking of, I'm really excited that tomorrow for me, well, today, I guess, Saturday in a few hours, the first Chrysabug Zodiac piece is releasing, Cancer, and I'm really hoping that Diamond Art Club is able to do all of those, and so I'm going to collect them all if I can. And yeah, so I'm gonna have an alarm set, and even though it's 4 a.m. right now, I am gonna wake up and try and purchase that one before it sells out. If it sells out, you never know. I think so far I have all of the Chrysabug kits that have been released. Don't quote me on that, but she is another one of my favorites, and I absolutely love how her artwork translates to diamond painting. And yeah, so I'm a big sucker for her diamond painting kits. I do have a couple of the Roy Trin Zodiac, the Witch's Zodiac, but I didn't collect all of them just because I kind of felt like that would be a lot of color blocking, because they have, it's like a portrait and then a color blocked background. And some of them I wasn't 100% in love with as far as how the witch looked, just didn't speak to me. So, and I don't know if Chrysabug has actually finished drawing the whole Zodiac. I'd have to look into that. But so far, all the ones I've seen drawn by her, I've really liked. So I'm excited to do those as a set. I don't know where I'd put them because I don't think I'm going to hang them up anywhere. But yeah, they'll be really fun to work on. I'm trying not to talk too much when I'm putting stuff away in the baggies because I'm worried that the noise of the baggie will be too loud and you won't be able to hear me. Let's see, any stars? I don't think so. Speaking of which, it's kind of dark in here, but I'm kind of hesitant to turn on my overhead light just because it's so bright that I don't know, it might mess with my sleep schedule even more if I have it on. And yet I am having trouble kind of seeing where I'm putting my drills, so maybe I should turn it on. I don't know. Let's see how it looks. Ziggy, turn on office lights. I think that's gonna be okay. Hopefully it's not too shiny for you guys. It does help me see what I'm doing a lot better. And my eyes are tired, so yeah. Let me know actually if you watch while I'm chatting or if you're doing something else. But if you do watch, let me know if you preferred the way it looked on screen before the big lights were turned on, or if you like the way it looks after. That'll be interesting to know. So what have you guys been up to? It's been, I think, a month or so since I posted. Trying to remember everything that's been going on with me, but I feel like it's been business as usual for the most part, except just a little bit more busy. My son is on spring break. My son Casey is on spring break this next week, and he's very excited to have some time off of school. He is in 8th grade, and so this will be his last trimester. After spring break will be his last trimester before he graduates middle school and moves on to high school in the fall. I can't believe it. All my kids are just getting so stinking old. How dare they? Yeah. He is very interested in like the robotics and engineering programs they have at the high school. And I think it's so cool that they offer things like that. So I'm hoping he will be able to take some classes kind of in that vein. Once he gets to the high school. It's really cool. They have, in town we have this place called C-Tech. It's a trade school basically, but it specifically works with the local high schools. And once the high schooler is in their sophomore year, they can start going to classes at this like technical school, and it's made to work with the high school classes so that it like splits time between the two, and kind of you can choose a program to go into. My eldest daughter did this when she was in high school, and she did the video game design program. And so she was able to spend the majority of her time at this trade school and earn credit for high school while she was learning a trade. And then the idea is that you're hireable right out of high school with these like very specialized set of skills. And I think it's amazing. I think it's an amazing idea. They keep adding new programs. I think some of the ones they have include that video and game design animation. And then they also have like a culinary section and cosmetics. And they have like a EMT, emergency technician training, and construction. They also have like drones and aviation, just a whole bunch of really awesome programs that the high schoolers can choose to do the last 2 years of their high school career. And then when they graduate, they have a specialized training in a job that, and they specifically choose programs that are needed in the local area, so that the idea is that these students, once graduated, will stay local and fill these missing holes in our workforce. And I just think it's such a neat idea. I wish something like that had been around, you know, when I was going to school and I could have done graphic design or something like that. And yeah, it's free, so you don't have to pay for it. And I think it's amazing. So I'm hoping that Casey will be able to take a program at C-Tech when he gets to that point, because I really think he would do well with that kind of training and that kind of program. But unfortunately, he can't start that until halfway through his high school career, so he'll have to do the regular thing for the first 2 years. Whew, guys, my nails are a mess. I don't know if any of you are familiar with like the ins and outs of acrylic nails, but when I first got my acrylic nails, I asked the lady who was the nail technician, I was like, now, are acrylic nails bad for my nails, or is this something that isn't going to hurt them? And she had told me they were not bad for my nails and that everything would be fine. And I don't know if that's maybe the case for some people. But for me, it really messed up my nails. You can see, like, this is where the nails used to be on, and you can see that it's a different, like, texture than the rest of my nails. I have this huge, like, hangnail. Ouch, it hurts. Yeah. So I've had them off now for a couple months, and apparently I found out later the way they took them off didn't help. It was a different nail place than the place I originally got my nails done. But yeah, I went in to have them removed, and they just basically like clipped up until my real nail, like clipped the nail in half and then stuck another thing under it to loosen it and pop it off. And it definitely hurt, and it got really close to, I think it like tore through my nail in a couple of places and made it bleed, and that was very painful, and I just figured that was how it had to be done. But that my daughter was telling me afterwards when she heard that, she was like, Mom, they're supposed to like soak it first so that it loosens and doesn't hurt when they take it off. And I'm like, oh, yeah, they didn't do that. So I don't know what went on with that, but basically I'm trying to give my nails a rest now to get back to being healthy. And I don't know if I'll ever get acrylic nails again, which, because it's so apparently bad for my nails. But it makes me sad because I love having pretty nails, and no other way that I've tried making my nails pretty has lasted near as long. Some of the things I liked about having acrylic nails was that they were really strong, and so I never felt like I rarely felt worried that they would break. They did break once. One of my nails broke once, but that's all in the several months I had them on. They were really strong. My nails without acrylic nails are not super strong, and I hate how it feels when they like get bent back or anything like that, and having the acrylic nails stopped that from happening. And I really liked that. It was also really fun to be able to choose different looks based on like the time of year. You know, I had some pretty Christmas ones and Thanksgiving ones and stuff like that. And it was really nice to have my nails looking pretty all the time. It never used to be something I thought would matter to me, but I really enjoyed it while it was going on. However, it was also kind of a pain to have to go in every 3 weeks to have them filled. and it was also pretty expensive to do that. So I don't know. There were ups and downs, pros and cons. I think I'll miss having them for those reasons I talked about, but it's just not worth it to get them taken off and have my nails be so messed up. 'Cause from what I've read, you should have them removed every 4 or so months and give them a break. And I feel like it would mess up my nails too much to like go through that cycle all the time. So I guess I just won't. But when I try other alternatives like press-on nails, I really have trouble with it because I have to be super precious with how I use my hands so that they don't pop off, because that can hurt. And it also is annoying to try and put them back on and stuff like that. And I've tried some nail wraps recently, which aren't bad. I'll probably do more of those, but they didn't last very long. It was less than a week, I think, before they were all peeling off. So that's a lot more upkeep than I prefer to have to worry about. I just don't like to spend a lot of my time doing things like that. I'd rather be diamond painting or drawing or playing The Sims, So, yeah, I feel like there isn't a really good answer. I'm hoping somebody in the future develops a good answer for keeping nails pretty with minimal upkeep. Maybe that's asking too much. I've grown up watching things like Total Recall, where the receptionist at Total Recall was just like using a little some kind of device where she would touch the tips of her nails with whatever color she picked on this device, and her nails would just change color, which I thought was really cool when I first saw it, and I still think it's cool. I will stand by that. So yeah, if any of you out there are inventors, maybe that's something to think about. See if you can develop something like that. So anyway, I'm not sure what else I have to talk about. It's been a while, but I feel like not much has happened other than what I've chatted about already. My life tends to be kind of samey, which I don't mind. I guess I could talk about what I've been listening to lately. I've been back into my audiobooks, and I finished a novella by Brandon Sanderson and Jancy Patterson in the Cytoverse series that he started a while ago. And there are several novellas, but also some long-form books. And the novellas kind of just help fill in some of the story from the point of view of other characters. Because all the books are in first person, and the main books are in one character's point of view, and all the novellas are from the point of view of other characters. So it's really kind of cool to be able to get into the heads of some of the other characters in the novellas. And yeah, I finished the most recent one of those, and so I downloaded a semi-new book from Stephen King that I've never read that is kind of cool because it involves time travel, and I love time travel stuff. But basically, someone finds a portal that leads back to a specific day in 1958, and his goal is to, or becomes, trying to stick around in the past until it's 1963 so that he can try to prevent the assassination of President Kennedy. And it's called like 11/22/63 is the name of the book. And I'm not super far into it yet. It's a 30-hour audiobook. But I really enjoy Stephen King's writing style. Sometimes his books get a little bit too triggering for me. There are a couple I haven't been able to finish, like the book of The Shining. I've watched the movies just fine, but for some reason the book has too much triggering stuff about like child abuse and spousal abuse that I can't get through, which is fine. Some people don't have a problem with it. But yeah, for me, it's not something that I can really handle. That and Needful Things, kind of the similar vibe. It was just too depressing for me. But I love his Dark Tower series. It's one of the best series I've ever read. The ending is like the most perfect thing in the world. So I really enjoy his books when I can finish them. And so far, this one has been not triggering at all for me, luckily. But it also, I've noticed, is pretty roundabout to get to the main point, like the main goal of the story. And some people probably don't like that because it seems like he's off track and there's a lot of unnecessary storytelling. But I'm kind of enjoying the ride. He's talking a lot about what it's like to travel back in time to 1958 and the differences between the times now and the times then and how things were. So I find that pretty cool. My dad was 5 years old in 1958, so just imagining, a simpler time, but complicated in its own way, Just kind of cool thing to think about. I also downloaded, I have some Audible credits built up, so I also downloaded a book that I'd seen recommended by Andy Weir, and it's called Project Hail Mary, and it's like a sci-fi, science-based sci-fi novel that I don't know too much about. I just saw it recommended, and I like science fiction, and it seemed interesting, so that's probably not what I'll read very next, because coming out next month in April is a brand new book from Brandon Sanderson, who's my favorite author. And if you don't know much about him, during COVID, he wrote like 4 new novels during his downtime and released them all in a Kickstarter, and it turned into the most funded Kickstarter ever. And so this year is the year of Sanderson, and basically we get a book every quarter. So we got one in January, and I listened to it right away because I got the audiobook of it. And then we're going to get another one here in April, and I plan to listen to that one right away. And I've avoided spoilers, so I have no idea what the book is going to be. And I think it's kind of fun because I know that I'm going to like it, and it was really fun with the first one. I had no idea what I was in for, and it's actually probably one of my favorite books ever. So it's just been really cool. And then the other months of the year that a book doesn't come out, instead I get a box full of like swag for like his book worlds. So, and each box is a different theme. So like, he has several different series, and each box is based on one of those series. So it's been such a blast to receive those. And I'm so glad that I was able to take part in the Kickstarter. And Fletcher went in on it with me, and he's going to get to keep all of the physical copies of the books because he paid for that part. And I'm going to get like the audiobooks. So, because I don't have as much time to just sit and read a book normally, but I can listen to audiobooks when I'm diamond painting, or if I'm working. Sometimes I can manage to listen to an audiobook if I'm just rendering something, and I can kind of like have enough attention to both do the render and listen to the book. So yeah, I prefer audiobooks, and I'm really excited for the one coming out in April. And then after that, I'll probably read that Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir and see if I like it. I've never read any of his books. He wrote like The Martian, which was made into a movie with Matt Damon, and I've seen the movie and I liked it. So I feel like that one was less sci-fi though, and more just like, I mean, it's sci-fi because it has to do with space, but it's more of just like a adventure, science-y thing. There's no fantasy to the fiction. There's no fantasy to the science, really. So I'm interested in the one that seems to be a little bit more exploratory in the sci-fi arena. And then as far as like TV shows go, I noticed that the Shadow and Bone season 2 is out now. My husband and I watched the first season when it came out. It feels like a long time ago. I don't remember how long ago, but so I'm interested to watch the second season, but my husband started watching it without me because he has a bad habit of just starting stuff when he wants to, and so I don't know when I'll have a chance to watch it on my own. But yeah, I don't do a lot of watching shows because I'm typically either watching YouTube or listening to an audiobook or something. So I'm definitely behind on a lot of the shows I kind of want to watch, but that's okay. I'm wondering if they're ever going to release season 2 of the Wheel of Time series. I was pretty disappointed in season 1. I don't know if they can like come back from that in season 2, because I know a lot of times the first season of something is not the best, and they kind of take a while to find their groove and stuff. And they were filming and producing that first season all during the height of COVID, and a lot was going on. But yeah, I'm hopeful they can fix it up later. I'll give season 2 a chance. I just felt like they made some really, it's not necessarily that it isn't exactly like the books. I don't mind that so much because I can separate the two for the most part. But since it is based on the books, the Wheel of Time series, they made some choices in season 1 that really cheapened some of the plot points, I think. And I just didn't like the direction they were taking it. So, I guess we'll see if they ever come out with season 2. I know that it's filmed and like planned to come out, but I don't know what the release date is. Those are definitely some of my favorite books. I feel like it's been interesting the way they've aged, because when I first read them, I was like 17. And for that time period, they were pretty, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know. It's not advanced, but you know what I mean. It's like, they were unusual for their time, like a new kind of fantasy almost. And now, with all the new fantasy we have, it definitely seems dated, but I still really enjoy the story and the character development and all that stuff. But I will admit, they're long books and there's a lot of them, and it is kind of a slog to get through them sometimes. Some of the books are more interesting than the others. But yeah, overall, I love the story and the characters, and I hope that the show can do it a little bit more justice in season 2 when it comes out. Are there any other fantasy fans out there? Do you guys have a favorite fantasy author that you like to read? I am always up for good suggestions. Though I feel like I've read a lot of them, and there are some that I've tried that other people really like that I can't get into, like Mercedes Lackey. That's kind of an older one. So yeah, Robin Hobb I've heard is good, but I haven't read any of hers. Anyway, I love fantasy, and I could probably talk enough about fantasy books to make a booktube, but I don't need another YouTube channel. Speaking of YouTube channels, my art channel is definitely feeling pretty neglected. I haven't even been doing a whole lot of drawing lately, because I've been having some like mental issues lately where sometimes I have generalized anxiety disorder, but I also have depression. And sometimes it seems like one or the other of them kind of comes to the surface and takes the lead. Sometimes I'm in the clear and neither one of them are bothering me much. And I was that way for a while this past year. But right now, for the past few months, it's really been depression that I've been battling, and just this feeling of like hopelessness. And that has really affected my ability to draw for some reason. I guess prefer diamond painting right now because it's less of a stress creatively. When I draw, I feel some pressure to make something good. And when I'm diamond painting, I know it's going to turn out well, and that I don't have to spend a lot of creative energy trying to make it turn out well. So I guess that's been where my mind has been at for the past bit. I'm hoping to get back into my art again soon. I'm unsure what to do with my art channel because I definitely don't have the time to create really well edited and dynamic videos for that channel, and it seems like in the art community on YouTube, that's kind of what's expected. Like, you can't just, you used to be able to just put up a like a time lapse of the art that you did and maybe chat over it in a voiceover, and that was acceptable. But now it's like you have to do real-time clips, and it works better if you're filming your hand doing the drawing, which I can't always do because it makes me not want to draw if I have to do all that setup first. Yeah, so I'm not sure what's going to happen with my art channel. I'm trying not to worry about it too much because I'm not really trying to make my art channel grow super huge, or this channel for that matter. It's just something I like to do for fun. And what I loved about my art channel previously was when I got to do like studio vlogs where I could like film snippets of my life, and both as they related to art and as they related to other things, and kind of edit it together nicely into like a little slice of life type vlog. Those videos never did really well on my art channel, but I definitely had a lot of fun making them. And I've considered actually doing more of a vlog style for this channel, since like I can't really do it for my art channel anymore because I am doing mostly digital art these days, and I don't really do, like I used to do a Patreon where I made stickers every month. So I don't have much art related stuff to vlog about, but I do diamond paint quite often, and I thought it might be fun to like share vlog clips and diamond painting content together. I know there's some other diamond painters out there who do stuff like that, and I really enjoy that. But I also don't know if I have enough time to like put that together on a regular basis. So I don't know. It's just something I've been kicking around as an idea. Let me know what you think if you have any opinions on that. Because like I said, my life isn't super interesting. Like, not many different things happen all the time. But it's still fun to like get a peek into how other people spend their time. At least I think it's fun. Anyway, with that, I will probably go ahead and let you go because I've started to really get tired now that it's 4:30 in the morning, and I might try to go back to sleep. So yeah, that said, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video whenever that happens to be. I appreciate you sticking around even though I'm not super consistent. And yeah, have a great week, everybody. Bye.